Welcome back to my channel. It's a Monday, it's May 12th, it's a full moon. I feel great. I feel great, but I know that I'm like a little bit out of sync, I'm a bit too jumpy, so I'm just gonna refocus a little bit to be happy with how I use this day. And the best way to refocus is to reconnect with my habits, which I so wonderfully and consistently track. Ugh, I'm in such a chaotic mood, wait. So this is what my habit tracker looks like so far this month. And basically today in this video, I'm gonna do all my habits and then I'm gonna have a nice row of check marks. Because obviously it's not realistic to pursue every single habit every single day because, you know, of the ebbs and flows. Some things are more time consuming than others. But today is the day that I have the time to do everything and the space and the desire, and so I will. So yeah, first thing I'll do is an inversion because that's easy. Inversions are fun. I've been really getting into them lately. And the long-term goal is to be able to do a handstand independently without using a tree or a wall. I want to share that I started doing this upside down situation when I was living in Texas, and this one time I was upside down in my room on my hands and I was getting too brave with how good it felt to release each leg like I was just doing, and then I lost my balance and I stumbled forward and I like kind of like twisted my neck, or yeah, I could have broken my neck in that moment, honestly, you know, like when you fall forward and you weren't ready. And then I was terrified to try to be upside down for months until I moved here to Massachusetts. So anyway, I was just having a flashback to that, and again I was having that temptation of trying to take both feet off of the wall, but just like needing to be slower, check in with my body more, you know, such that I don't fucking injure myself. Let's see, next let me do my water because that's really easy. Thank you, lemons. Oh, it smells so good. Smell it. Yum yum dee dum dum dee dum dum. Oh yo, check it out. Because I've been, you know why I'm drinking so much lemon water is because since moving to the States, I'm like appalled by the taste of it. No, I'm not. I've gotten used to it now. I can drink the water directly from the tap now. But you know, the Von Soda water was just so delicious, so consistently, and I got so spoiled by it. So yeah, so then I'm like drinking lemon water all the time so that I'm not, you know, so I'm enticed by the flavor to keep hydrated. And then I had all these lemon rinds, and I was like, what am I gonna do with all these lemon rinds? About how you use lemons soaked in vinegar to make your own like Windex type of situation. So this is what it looks like after they soak. It's kind of a gross looking liquid, but it smells like a very lemony vinegar, and that's what I use as my cleaning supplies now instead of Windex. I feel like I can do more with the lemon rinds. Like, should I try to make lemon jam of some sorts? I really want to get into canning and jamming. Canning and jamming? Cute summer project. I'm all set with my water. Let's see what habit I tackle next. I love you. Another very important habit to me is maintaining language. I will put on a podcast in Armenian. It's Rearranged by Narek Amirkhanyan. The reason this podcast is perfect for me is because the host Narek is actually a Vonazortsi. So his Armenian barbar, his Armenian dialect, is the one that's most familiar to me, and it's also like mixed in with English and Russian. And there are a lot of really interesting guests on the podcast. It's like mostly men, but I do my like handpicking of trying to listen to the women as much as possible. So then what I started doing was either writing out the description that they have in Armenian, or I'll read through the comments, and whatever comments that I like, I'll just rewrite those so that I have more practice knowing the correct spelling of things. Oh, who is this? Mikhail. I should listen to this one. Mikhail Voskanyan, a very, very talented Armenian musician. I actually like briefly worked for him and his wife. We did like one freelance project for them. what was that? Were we editing? And I really like his wife too, Lucina. She's from Arzach. So yeah, so I'm gonna listen to this podcast for a little bit. I don't listen to the whole thing. I do it like in chunks at a time. So yeah, so we just do like a little daily micro action to keep that maintained.
Շատ լավ էր, չնայած
շորերը դարձել։
նոր վերադարձել, իսկ վերջն արդյունքը լավ լինելու համար պետք է փուլեր անցնեն, հա։ Ինչ փուլը երաժշտությունն է։
I really love Mikael for his music, and then also I kind of like him as a person. I've met him a few times. And I was just having a flashback right now to the first time that I ever saw him perform live, which was in Vonadzor. And it's so funny because I'm having this full circle moment with him being interviewed via Vonadzorci. But anyway, yeah, this is nice as a habit because it gives me a daily connection, you know, to the Armenia energy.
It's 2025 and making videos has been my full-time job for a few years now.
Okay, I'm kind of hungry, but because it's hot outside, I don't feel like cooking. Like, I never like cooking when it's really sunny and warm outside. So anyway, I just hard-boiled some eggs and I just poured soy sauce over them, and this is gonna be my little snack. But yeah, I'm gonna power up with a little bit of food, and then I'm gonna animate because I'm in a 3-month zone of creating an animation reel. And so I'm teaching myself a bunch of stuff in After Effects. It's going slower than I'd like, which is typical of me because I'd always like to be going faster, but nonetheless, I am making incremental progress. So today I'm gonna do the hand-drawn effect, like the drawing with a pen effect. Anyway, you'll see.
Made it to the final 5. We have good news. I was constantly thinking about money. Moram reći samo to da ja sam trenutno broke. Govorimo ti.
I just replanted, no, I split my fern into 2 pieces. Look, and now I have 2 ferns. I didn't make a before shot, but before this was 1 fern in that smaller little pot. And then we had this extra pot, and so I put it in there. And look how cute this face looks now. Oh, my 2 little ferns. Okay, it's a little later now. It's like after 4, and I'm gonna go for a jog. One of my other habits is 420, and what that means is that I don't smoke weed until 420. I'm like somebody who really appreciates weed, and like as a stoner, you kind of enjoy being high a lot of the time. But you know, then your tolerance rises, and then you're like always playing the game of taking a tolerance break and stuff. But for me, the ideal kind of medium is to just not smoke in the mornings. And so if I smoke after 420, you know, just as an arbitrary number, then my tolerance stays really low. I'll like only smoke 1 little bowl, or maybe 2 in a day, rather than like smoking consistently throughout the whole day. So anyway, now that it's about to be 420, I'm gonna smoke and go for a jog because I love jogging stoned. It's great. And yeah, I'm gonna put a podcast on. Usually I prefer running to music. However, with the music, I don't really pace myself because I'll get too hyped and I'll get excited with the song and I'll kind of push myself, and then my longevity doesn't go as far. But if I'm listening to a podcast of just people speaking to each other, then I will kind of go at a slower pace and I'll be able to jog longer distances. So yeah, it's a beautiful day out. It's so warm and I'm so excited to get some sun. So I'm gonna put some shorts on, grab my headphones and venture out. Okay, so I went on my jog, which was very enjoyable. The sun was out in full force and it feels so good. And there were a lot of people out, like so many people out on the bike path. And I had dinner and I took the dogs out and that was perfect. And now I think I'm gonna do yoga just because that makes sense right after the jog. I mean, I ate just now, but I'll do like a slow stretch. I'm well stretched. I meditated for a little bit. The minimum threshold for the meditation check mark to be checked is 10 conscious inhales and exhales. So I did the bare minimum today, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I did it. And it does feel good. Like 10 deep breaths is no joke, you know, to like reset your headspace. And honestly, after doing yoga, for also just like what, 10 minutes, it's just like a natural progression. It's kind of stupid not to sit there and take 10 deep breaths after I've just stretched, you know. It's the perfect way to complete the yoga session. And then after that, I danced. Dancing is honestly a really stellar daily habit that I wish I kept up with more consistently because it's so easy. My minimum threshold for dancing is just like to dance to one song. So if I put on one song and it plays in its entirety and I kind of like moved around while I was standing during that song, then I get a check mark. I just did that for a couple of songs after the meditation. And yeah, it's just like such a good mood boost, you know, such a good mood boost. And let's see what I have left. We did yoga, meditation. I have journaling and reading left as my task. Oh, also plank hold. I just don't have plank hold in my list, but I have it on my like opposite page. But yeah, let me do my plank hold because honestly, this is embarrassing how my plank hold numbers have taken a dive. A few weeks ago, the other month, like really not that far back in the past, I did a 2-minute plank hold. And right now I'm hovering at like 33 and 55 seconds. Let's see, I think I can get over a minute right now. Let me do that quickly. Okay, so a new addition to something I own is a tarot deck. I'm so excited. It's actually been a few years since I've like been drawn to having cards. And last year for a few months, I had archetype cards that I was borrowing from my mother. And I was kind of treating them like tarot cards. I was using them, you know, as a deck, kind of getting to know which cards come up more often for me than not. And then it also had like a booklet of descriptions, and I used to use it as a prompt for journaling. So I would pull a card, I would read the description, and then I would journal based on whatever that brought up for me. I returned the archetype cards to my mother in December or January. And then now, a few months later, a very dear Armenian friend actually gifted me this deck, and I've been experimenting with it. And I haven't always been using it as a like journaling prompt experience, but right now I will, just because it's like a habit-focused moment. So I'll use it to, yeah, let me journal about it. Let's see what comes up. Look, I've almost got the full line for today.